Monster novel titles are releasing in an enormous amount. This time, we'll be introducing the all noteworthy light novel titles that will be released in late March. This time, MF Bunko J, very popular series, will be released in a big way, and the latest edition of the popular anime, the Apothecary Diaries, will be also released. There are also a lot of light novels that are trending right now, so be sure to check out this video to get the latest information on light novel titles. Let's get on with it. First up is MF Bunko J, which will be released on March 25th. Starting with MF Bunko J, let's start with the title of the sequel to the series. First of all, I'll introduce you here. The Detective is Already Dead Volume 11, the latest edition of the mystery series, which is also the mainstay of MF Bunko J. This cover is really cool. Kimizuka and Siesta are back to back, but the contrast between the previous covers is nice. This is an interesting, epic story that begins with an encounter with the mysterious detective Siesta. At first glance, you might think it's a detective mystery, but there are special settings where you battle extraterrestrial life squads and build a world. The sense of scale is expanding rapidly. This is a feature of his work. Over the past few years, 6 episodes of epic battles has been unfolding, and there are stories that involve the world. And this episode is the climax, so it seems like the battles so far have been resolved. Well, Kimizuka, the main character, holds the key to the story. Reading the synopsis, it seems like something terrible will happen to Kimizuka. It feels like the scale of the first stage story will expand. Will we be able to reach a happy ending? And what kind of story will the series take in the future? This is going to be a very important story. Series fans should keep an eye on it. Also, this time, Umibozu Sensei art book will be released at the same time. This is Umibozu Sensei's first time art book debut as an illustrator. Looks like it will be a book that follows the miracles that have been happened so far. It will also include a short novel, so if you're a fan of the series, please check it out. ReZero Starting Life in Another World Volume 37. The latest issue of ReZero has arrived. This time is pretty hot in MF Bunko J. As you all know, the latest edition of the Return to Death type fantasy in Another World. The tourism pace has stable, so the function has become amazing. The web novel is currently up to chapter 8, but it's actually a continuation of chapter 7, so it's quite a long episode. This time, the battle for the survival of Wallachia Empire has entered its final phase. It feels like chapter 8 will be concluded in the next episode. As it is a long episode, the climax seems to be quite interesting. Also, this time is short. Volume 10 of the compilation is also available at the same time. It will be released. This time, it seems to be a collection of short stories focusing on Feld and Reinhardt, who featured on the cover. The first part is a story that has not yet been published online, so in addition to the main story, fans of the series should also check out this collection of short stories. Aside from that, ReZero has been announced that the 3rd edition of the TV anime will be aired on October 2024. I think things are going to accelerate a lot this year. Kill Again, Mr. Detective Volume 5. This is a detective story about a man who has a ability to come back to life after solving mystery cases along with her assistant by his side. The cover this time looks catgirl-like, particularly maybe because the girl looks like a cat. The case involving Kusuriya prison has come to a conclusion. However, the body swapper ran away from the prison. The 5th volume also includes mini cases like the sleeping princess of the Mount Whirlpool and 3 other ones. So it's like Detective Conan all over again. It's the first volume in over just a year after. I do expecting a manga adaptation if possible. Overall, it's a delightful addition to the series. It offers a winning combination of humor, suspense, and a touch of bizarre. If you're looking for a light read with a dash of mystery and a whole lot of depth, then this might be for you. Aside from that, MF Bunko J also has Human-Hating Teacher in a Non-Human Classroom Volume 3 and Sherlock Academy Logic.3. It's a mix of mystery and otherworldly creatures teaching students in class stories, so readers of the series should not miss this. Next is the notable works of the new titles. Now that we have introduced some exciting titles, let's take a look at the notable works in the new series. First of all, here is I'm the Mastermind of the Mastermind Game School, but it's okay to save the world with a perfect crime. The author of this work is Haruki Kuo from Liar Liar. This series was just completed last year. A new series has already been launched. The illustrations are by Takayaki Sensei. This is a new work with a lot of spirit. This work also seems to be about a school with supernatural elements. It is set in a present day when humanity has awakened to supernatural abilities. The setting of this work was created to fight crimes with supernatural abilities. This is a story about a school that trains people called hunters, and the main character has a special ability of a future teacher and starts working behind the scenes at the hunter training school for a certain purposes. It seems like he has seen a future in which the world will be destroyed, but in order to avoid that future, he must form a complete criminal organization within the school. It seems like he has to become a mastermind. But in order to find a true mastermind who will destroy the world, he will be act as a mastermind himself. Heroines with various talents and secrets. A secret set at an academy where an organization is formed. I think I'll enjoy the story. In addition to that future alternate elements, it seems like there's also a suspense action where you manipulate supernatural powers, so it's a fairly new direction in the story. I read it as a sample and it seems like the students are assigned ranks. It's a content that incorporates things that are similar to Liar Liar. It's like it's going to be a new series that deserves a lot of attention. If you're interested, please check it out. Next, we have a new work titled Erasable Girl. The author of this new work is Mito Magasaki. The illustration is by Mr. Nagudat. It's been a while since we've seen this one, but click here. It's been quite a while since they released this work. It's still a very popular youth light novel, and I've been reading it myself, but it's a masterpiece that makes you feel sad and heartbroken. This makes the story even more heartbreaking. Well, this work seems to be a story about boy meets girl, which begins when a boy who aims to have a manga feel meets a mysterious girl. It's a warm story in which the heroine, who professes to be a fan of the main character's manga, spends her precious daily life. It seems to be, but of course that's all there is to this work. It doesn't end here. The hero and heroine seem to get caught up in a situation where some of their memories and thoughts disappear, and from there it becomes a sad story. I'm curious as to what the title Erasable Girl means. What I'm personally curious about is whether this ending will be a happy ending or a bitter ending. Bitter endings aren't bad either. I like happy endings, so I want an ending with hope. I want it. It's a new product that I'm personally looking forward to, so of course I'm planning to buy it. Next, we have a new work titled Erasable Girl. The author of this new work is Mito Magasaki. The illustration is by Mr. Nagudat. It's been a while since we've seen this one, but click here. It's been quite a while since they released this work. It's still a very popular youth light novel, and I've been reading it myself, but it's a masterpiece that makes you feel sad and heartbroken. This makes the story even more heartbreaking. Well, this work seems to be a story about boy meets girl, which begins when a boy who aims to have a manga feel meets a mysterious girl. It's a warm story in which the heroine, who professes to be a fan of the main character's manga, spends her precious daily life. It seems to be, but of course that's all there is to this work. It doesn't end here. The hero and heroine seem to get caught up in a situation where some of their memories and thoughts disappear, and from there it becomes a sad story. I'm curious as to what the title Erasable Girl means. What I'm personally curious about is whether this ending will be a happy ending or a bitter ending. Bitter endings aren't bad either. I like happy endings, so I want an ending with hope. I want it. It's a new product that I'm personally looking forward to, so of course I'm planning to buy it. This is the 17th volume of An Unnamed Man Reincarnated in Another World as a Sentient Sword. It's a work that won the Internet Novel Grand Prize. A man, sword, and a cat girl embarks on a journey filled with adventure and battles. This adventure is very interesting in the beginning as it is a fantasy reincarnation as a sword being wielded by a cat girl, which is very interesting to see. I can really imagine cat girls dominating the isekai entry rather than normal girls or boy with magical abilities. This volume this time is where the sword and the girl takes on challenge against an unexpected adversaries, with meanwhile a malevolent power manipulating events from the shadows begins to emerge. Will the master and the teacher be able to overcome challenges that lies ahead? What awaits them in the depths of the new dungeon? These questions will need to answer when it releases. Also, I didn't need to know about the new information of the second season of the TV anime, which is still in development. So next up, I'd like to introduce you to Famitsu Bunko that will be released on March 29th. See you at that grace after work. If you just look at the cover of this new work, you'll have no idea what this story is about. I feel like that's the case, but the character's back is turned and there's something shining outside the window. It's still a mystery to us what the content is, but this is actually an official novelization of the popular game Elden Ring. It's a dev game that has been a huge hit, and this novel is based on that game. It's a real-world story that you play. The main character of this game is not good at communication, but ends up working in sales. The main character, who is a working adult, seems to have only solace in his daily life through games. It feels like very true to me, and one day when he was looking at a strategy site for Elden Ring, a senior colleague saw him. It seems that the development will be to teach senior employees how to conquer Elden Ring. It's a story about how people's lives change after playing Elden Ring. It's a human drama set in a game like this, and it reminds me of Dead of Light, which is based on the Final Fantasy theme. This kind of reality is based on a game. Personally, I like world entertainment quite a bit, so I'm really curious about this one. I've heard but never played it myself, so I'm curious as to how good Elden Ring games there is. I think I'll check the site by reading a preview or something. And here's the last one, the Apothecary Diaries, which will be released from Hero Bunko on March 29th. And the last one is here. The 15th volume of the Apothecary Diaries will be released from Hero Bunko on March 29th. The latest volume, which has been a big hit, is now available. The cumulative sales for the series is now around 33 million yen. It seems that it has surpassed the ranking and it is ranked second after Tensura in the light novel series ranking. Now, the anime has become a big hit, but in the last episode of the anime, it was announced that the second season will be aired in 2025. At this point, it is already scheduled to air next year. I think it was a project based on the premise of the second season, so it was pretty powerful. In fact, the quality was extremely high, so fans of the series must have been overjoyed. I heard rumors that the main character, Mao Mao, is extremely popular with her boss, junior high school student. I don't know what's going on. There are rumors like that. There's no doubt the Apothecary Diaries has been a big hit. It is riding on this momentum, but a new book has been released with the idea of striking while the iron is hot. A shocking character falls ill, and the drug experiments and surgical operations seems to be the key to the story. I can see something like determination in Mamao's powerful eyes, and I'm looking forward to see what kind of story it will be. This series is about to get even more exciting from here out. So if you enjoyed the anime, please read the original novel. This is another attention-grabbing work, but I won't introduce it in detail this time. But I will pick up two titles that have gained attention: The Suspects of Necromancy and the novelization anime Gundam Suit Freedom, a Mobile Gundam Seed Freedom, one which has a dark, deep fantasy with dark magic, and particularly franchise player Gundam Seed, which is a huge hit in theaters. It's a novelization of the anime, and the outer space with the top and bottom structure will be released on March 26. The second half of the Gundam Seed Freedom is very freedom, so I'm looking forward to see how that part will be portrayed in the novel. If you're interested in these two works, please check them out. With that, this is an introduction to the most popular work. So this time, I have introduced the last new works in late March. This time, the lineup was quite rich with a certain series from a big hit series debuted. I was wondering what all you thought of this lineup. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. That's all for this video. I'll be introducing new books next week, particularly from Kadokawa Sneaker Bunko, so please take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. I will be also happy if you could watch another video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.